Good morning, everybody. Paul here from Warden's Farm. It's October 19th. It's 10:30 in the morning. We're here in the honey shed because I have some goldenrod honey here that we're fixing to begin to harvest. So this is the Hive Butler system for drawing the honey out of your comb. It consists of a few different items. You have a holding tank all the way on the bottom with a gate. That way, if you get honey that drips down through, you can open the gate up and draw the honey off into your collection tank itself. The upper tank has a holding frames, which you can use when you are out in the field, and you can place your honey in it, your frames of honey. I don't use this one because it's got a cutout with a insert with perforated holes or drilled holes that allow the honey to drip through into the holding tank. So I use another Hive Butler when I'm out in the field for collecting the frames, and then I just place frames in here so you can work them. There's another piece that goes with that, which is another frame, and it just has a screw drilled into it. That screw allows you to place the frames on it and spin it so that you can cut the honey off. Okay, so you can take your honey frames, you can set them on that screw, and it allows you to spin it so that when you run your uncapping knife down it, you'll cut the comb off, and then you can spin it and cut it off. All the cut off goes down into the bottom tank here, or the top tank rather, and then it can drip down through into the holding tank. So we're going to get started on this. I'm going to back the camera up a little bit and you can watch how this is done. So in uncapping the honey, you'll just take your knife, and I'm going to stand up real quick, and you just start a sawing motion. And all you're trying to do is uncap the majority of this goldenrod capping. Because it's so fat and uneven, it's hard to get a good even cut, but you really don't need to worry about it because the drippings will go through and get collected in this tank, and you can cut off what you can. Because it's such a uneven frame, you can see some of it can't get reached with the knife. That's where this uncapping fork comes in, and you can scrape it, which makes a lot more honeycomb get down in there. But I like to just pluck it off, and by plucking it, all you're trying to do is open the cells that you didn't hit with the knife. And you just go ahead and you just keep coming up, opening the cells. You can scrape the wax cappings off, and you just continue on. And you keep doing this until you get all the cells open. And once you get going, you can pretty much just slide right up, collect the wax on the fork, knock it off, and then just keep going. If you want to do it the other way, you just scrape it. But you can see you're adding a lot of wax onto this that has to get filtered out. So I just like doing it this way, hitting all the cells, making sure they're all open, and then you just spin it around, and then you do it again. Again, there's a lot of uneven comb here. So because of it being uneven, going to end up having to use that capping tool again. And you just roll it down and keep sawing, and you can see the wax just peels off. And you just keep going all the way down the frame. Let it peel off what you can. And then you just put that wax all the way down in the bottom, And again, break out your capping tool, and you just want to get all these cells open. This silver tank with the lid on it, this is your extractor. Now this extractor can hold 2, 4, 6, 8 medium frames. I'll show you down in here. It can hold 8 medium frames by placing 2 in each one like that. It can hold a single deep frame, or it can hold 2 shallow frames. Once you get enough honey inside this tank, you got a gate here, got a food grade bucket, and this is a 2-screen system. Because there will be wax cappings in there, you put this in here. The first one is got a screen mesh that'll capture all your larger stuff. The next one is much finer, which catches more of your finer cappings, and everything will collect down inside this food grade bucket. And once it's in your food grade bucket, then once you're done, I put saran wrap in there to cover it, let all the air rise up, and then after 3 days, you just pinch the center, you pull it up, you get all the air out, save that for yourself because there'll be good honey on it, and then you can bottle the rest of this and it shouldn't have any air in it. So we're going to go through a few more frames here, that way you can see how it's done, and I can show you the oddities of some of these frames, what makes them harder to get. You can see on this shallow frame, you can see how fat that the comb is here, and then it's normal up here. The bees do some odd things sometimes with that. So I will actually start up here and work my way down these cappings, trying to get what I can. But because they're so uneven, so that's where that capping fork will come in play. And then you can just little by little get off what you can and go from there. But you just got to be patient, and I always like to start at the bottom, get all these little hidden ones in the center first, and then come to the outside. You know, every beekeeper does everything different, so it all depends upon how you want to do it. I like doing it this way because I can collect the wax, makes it easier for filtering, and it's enjoyable to me. The birds are singing outside. It's looking good. This side is even more uneven, so I'm just going to use this tool just to get it all. The smell of goldenrod honey, holy cow, does it smell good. It is a very unique scented honey because of the goldenrod flowers that it comes from. These frames came from the farm hives, which is about 8 miles up one of the roads here from me, and there is a ton of goldenrod out there as you drive down the road. So I only took a few frames out of each of the hives, that way I could leave a bunch, and then I turned right around after I harvested the goldenrod from them. I feed them heavy, and this way, by feeding them heavy, they can replenish what you take. So I'll feed them a gallon a week of 2-to-1 sugar water. So you can see the honey inside the frame. It's dripping, so we'll get it into the spinner. And just to show you, that's how you can fit 2 of them in there like that. And then I'll come to this side, I'll do the same because you want to equal the balance, or you want to balance out the extractor so it doesn't wobble. To stop this from bouncing around, I actually have it bolted down into the floor. So we're going slow at first, and then we'll slowly ramp up the speed. Let me move the camera so you can see. You can see how it spins. And as it spins, the honey starts collecting down in the bottom. As soon as I get done spinning one side, and it takes about 5 minutes to actually get it spun up right, then you flip them over and you do it again. You can see the honey collecting on the sides. That honey, when it collects, will actually pour or flow down to the bottom. You can really see it over there on the side. And it will actually start building up and collecting down in the bottom. Okay, I just checked the water moisture and it's 16%. I'm going to try to get it in here where y'all can see it. There, that's about the best I can get it. But it's right at 16%. So that is some really good dry honey. Not that much moisture in it. You can see the honey down inside there, inside the extractor. So now we're getting ready to start our first screening. So now let's open this up and see what we got coming out. That is our first of the goldenrod honey, and the only goldenrod honey we're actually going to get this year. So we're just going to let it start flowing and see what we end up with. That is some dark colored goldenrod honey. But does it smell good? It's a little thick, so it's going to take a little while to drain. It has that unique taste, which some people love, some people hate. Some people says it tastes like butterscotch, some say it's caramely.